Hi everyone, welcome to today's chair yoga class. So today's class will be for all levels, nothing too strenuous, and we'll be using a few props along the way. So I'll explain what they are and you can see what you have lying around at home. So firstly, I have a chair. You can use any kind of chair. If the chair has sides, that's great as well. But just something sturdy that's not too wobbly and something that is obviously level. So you want it to be equal levels. And then you'll see I have a couple of blocks. You don't have to have blocks, but if you do have maybe two books that are the same size, or even just one book, or even just a thick cushion or something like that, it's quite helpful, and we'll use them just to sort of create a few foundations within the body. If you're short like me, it's quite nice just to place a couple of books or blocks underneath your feet, so that when you're sitting, you've got your knees in line with your hips, your feet are completely flat, and you've got your knees over your ankles. So that's quite a nice way to prep yourself. I'll turn around to the side just now so you can see me a little bit better. I've also got a yoga strap. You may not have a yoga strap at home, so a belt, a piece of string, a pair of leggings, anything like that will do. And this is just really to help us open up in the front body, floss our shoulders, and we'll work through a couple of different things with the strap or whatever you're using. And then lastly, I've actually got a bolster on the side here. So a bolster could either also be a rolled up blanket, it could be a nice big fat pillow, it could be both of those, a pillow with a rolled up blanket to thicken it out. And I'll just show you a really nice restorative position that you can lie in afterwards on your bed or on the floor or on the couch, just to, again, just kind of open up this upper body, relax the lower back, and ease into a bit of a relaxation. All right, so let's begin. So we're just going to start with our nice alignment. If you don't need blocks under your feet or books under your feet, that's absolutely fine. We're going to relax the shoulders. We're not sitting on the back of the chair. You're not leaning back. We're not slouching. You're sitting in the middle of the chair, belly buttons tucking in and back towards the spine. We're lengthening through the body, lengthening through the spine. And then just closing the eyes. Hands can be on the knees or the thighs, and you can just roll them up and down the body. So it's just really nice to connect with your physical body. Take a couple of just normal breaths here as you just settle into your space, as you settle in with the class. And then we start with belly breath. So I'd like you to place one hand on your tummy, and then you can place the other hand on top. And I'd like you to breathe into the stomach. So allow the hand to lift as the tummy rises with the breath, and then allow it to fall as you exhale. So you can just breathe in through the nose, maybe out through the mouth to start with, or maybe out through the nose. And just want you to feel that internal breath. So breathing into the stomach, breathing out. Breathing in through the tummy, and back out. And just take two more. Good, and then I'd like you to take a breath into the tummy, and then allow that breath to rise up into the chest, and then exhale through the chest and through the tummy. Don't worry if it feels rigid, don't worry if it doesn't work for you right now. It's just to nourish from the inside out. We want to warm all the way from that lower abdominal region, all the way up into the diaphragm, into the chest, and then exhale again. So it's almost like a bit of a wave of breath. So just closing the eyes again, you can place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and then it's just breathing into the stomach, allowing that air to rise up into the chest, and then exhale through the chest and then through the tummy. And just keep going with this. Don't worry if you don't find the rhythm straight away, but just slowly starting to find what works for you. You can breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. And just place your tongue at the top of the mouth. So just press your tongue into the palate. This just allows that breath to elongate on the inhale. It allows to kind of extend the exhale and just creates a slight constriction with the breath. Good, let's take one more. And then release the hands. Good, take just a full normal breath in. Sigh the breath out. And then open your eyes to see where we're going. So we're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to add some movement. So you can just turn the arms to face inwards, almost like you're holding a nice big bowl. The fingers are not quite touching, but they're drawing in together. The fingers are spread. As you breathe in, you're going to rise all the way up. And then when you get to the top, pause with your breath in the body and just open up and expand. And then as you exhale, come all the way back down. And we'll do 5 full rounds of this. So it's a breath in as you come up. Pause when you get to the top, expand. And then as you exhale, find almost like a magnet in the middle of the fingers, drawing them together, and then come all the way back down with the breath. And just keep going, 3 more. Good, last one. And when you're done, you can just place your hands on your knees or your thighs. You can take a full breath in, full breath out. Open up the eyes, and now we go a little bit deeper. So you'll take your hands now down to your strap or your whatever you're using, your piece of rope or pair of leggings. You'll take a nice tight grip, so taunt the strap, and then we'll start to do the same thing. Make sure that the knees don't knock in, they're not opening too wide. We want to press the feet down, keep the legs active. We're not leaning back, we're lengthening through the spine. And then breathing in as we take the arms up. And then when you pause, just like we did with our Prana Mudra, you're going to take the arms back slightly, just as far as you feel comfortable. And then exhale as you come all the way back down. So exactly the same, but now just stretching a little deeper, flossing into the shoulders. Breathing in as you come up, pause at the top, maybe take a little bit of a stretch back, and then exhaling as you come down. Good, and we'll take 3 more, keep going. Allow the breath to guide the movement. Good, let's take 1 more and we're going to hold it there. So you'll take the arms all the way up and then just take it back very slightly. And then we bend the elbows, squeeze or almost kiss the shoulder blades together, and then press back up. And again, exhale, come down. And press back up, last one, exhale, come down. And press back up and then bring it all the way back down. And we're just going to move to the side. So you can just make your grip a little bit shorter. Still straightening out the arms, but rolling the shoulders back, still sitting tall, so not leaning onto the back of the chair. We'll move over to the big plant first, so you can just stretch all the way to the side. And then what I want you to do is almost try and get your head through, so that that right hand is right on top of the crown. Good. And then go all the way over to the small plant. Lift up, 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 up. Full stretch, and 1 more on each side. So it's like we're just waking up the body, now moving into the side bodies a little, and all the way back over. Good, and then bringing it all the way back in. All right, so we're going to open up now into the chest a little more, and we're just working here with posture. So I'll show you from the side. So I'm going to place my blocks over there, so you can stay exactly where you are, but I'll show you where we're going. So we're going to take our strap in the left palm. So you can place the strap in the palm, turn the palm to face up, look forward. Again, we're not leaning back or in the middle of our chair. You're going to press that left arm up towards the ceiling and then place that strap or drop the strap behind you. So lifting that left elbow, and then internally rotate your right shoulder, take your right hand behind, grab hold of your strap. And then as you start to pull on your strap, the elbows move slightly towards the sides. You'll see there's a slight arch in my back. I want you to tuck the belly button back towards the spine. So we have a lovely kind of straight spine, but also lots of length, and then looking forward. So the chin is parallel to the chair. You don't want to be knocking the head to either side. You want to look straight ahead. And we want the eyes open now. So now we're working a little harder. We're not moving so much inwards anymore. We're now starting to get a little more physical. So pulling on your strap, breathing, tucking belly button back. Finding that rhythm of Ujjayi breath. Let's take one more breath in. Sigh the breath out. And release. Left arm can come all the way up and release it. Just give your left shoulder a nice big loop and then unravel that right shoulder, give it a nice big loop. Good, and then we move over to the other side. So you'll take the strap in your right palm this time, again tucking belly button back towards the spine. Lift the right palm all the way up towards the ceiling, drop the strap behind you, let it just hang. Internally rotate the left shoulder, take hold of your strap, and then as you start to pull on it, you open up the elbows, you look straight forward, making sure the neck is straight, the chin is parallel to the chair, pressing your feet down into the mat, making sure that the knees are in line with the hips, and breathing, finding your rhythm of breath. Let's take one more breath and a deep exhale. And then release. So the right arm will come all the way up. You'll release it. You'll just roll that right shoulder. Left arm will unravel. You can roll that left shoulder and then just shake out the wrists. Good. You can just place your strap on the floor, on the mat for now. Roll up the wrists a little bit and we'll start to come up. So we're just going to start with a little bit of lymph work before we start going a little bit deeper into the legs. So you can just move your chair out to the side. We'll start with our left arm. So you're just going to swing the left arm back and forth. So try and bend the knees, become quite loose and floppy in the body. And we just want this to be very effortless. So it's still breathing, lovely, long deep breaths in, long deep breaths out through the nose. If you feel like breathing out through the mouth, that's fine. But just really just swinging this left arm. If you feel full rotation feels pretty good for your body, then you could take a couple of full rotations. But again, no tension, no straining, not too much clicking. And then maybe changing direction a couple of times. And just listening to your body. And stimulating the lymphatic channels through the body, cleansing through the lymph nodes under the arms, as well as just cleansing through the joints. Sending lots of fresh blood flow to the fingers, the hands, the elbow, and the shoulder. Good, finding a little bit of a bounce in the rest of the body. And then changing, so going straight over to the right side. Exactly the same, and you might find one side feels a little bit different. That's very normal. So just again, listening and observing through the body and just sort of taking mental note of that. Good, and then both arms. So just swinging, feeling a little bit more into the torso here. So a little bit of a twist, bending the knees. So just again, keeping things floppy so that there's no tension or straining in the body, especially in and around the joints. And then you can relax, shaking out the wrists again, maybe flicking the fingers if your fingers feel a little bit numb. And then we start moving a little bit more into our feet. So you can turn your chair around so that the top of the chair is next to you in case you need a little bit of help here with balance, and then we'll use it for the lymph swings afterwards. So you'll see you have a block or your book or your cushion or whatever you're using. You don't have to have this. It just really helps train the body, and it really helps work into the core as well. So what I want us to do is to place it between the inner upper thighs. If you're thinking of getting a block, you can grab one from Amazon or somewhere like that for very cheap. Otherwise, a book will do just as well. So you'll place that between the inner upper thighs. You'll see here it's right at the top. So when we start to squeeze our block, there's a little bit of a gap in between the feet. Our quad muscles start to firm, our hip flexors start to switch on, our core starts to engage, and our shoulders have to roll back. So this is really good posture and really good practice to sort of get that kind of in line from the feet upwards. All right, and then you can take hold of your strap. We're going to take that nice tight grip like we did before. I'll show you from the side, making sure the toes are in line. So just check your feet are in line, squeeze your block, tuck belly button back towards the spine like we did on the chair. You'll take your arms up towards the ceiling with your strap, and you're going to pull on your strap to help you with a little bit of balance. And then we're rising slowly up onto the balls of the feet, and then exhaling, rolling down. If you need help with balance, you can hold on to the chair. So you can release your strap and just take one hand lightly to the chair, and you can roll up like that. So if the balance for you is not working with the strap, you're welcome to use the chair. All right, let's go. So breathing in, arms up, and we're rising up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale as you roll down. Try and control it. Keep squeezing your block. Lifting up, up, up. Squeeze your block. Slowly come all the way back down. Keep pulling on your strap. Rise up, 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 up. Exhale, roll down. And again, roll up. Exhale, roll down. So not only strengthening the feet, but also just starting to work them, working the calves, working the legs, the core, everything working as one. Breathing in, roll up. Exhale, roll down. Let's do one more. This time you're going to hold. So roll up, 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 and hold. Squeeze your block. Pull onto your strap or hold onto your chair. And roll all the way back down. Bring the arms down. Good. Roll the shoulders back and down. Look down towards your feet. Now we start, keep the heels where they are, but open up the balls of the feet or the toes. So we're now in almost like a ballet plie kind of stance. So now we work a little harder into the tops of the legs. So as you squeeze your block, you'll feel the quad muscles start to engage. Again, hip flexors, core, shoulders roll back. We'll do the same thing. Hold on to your strap or your chair. And you'll take a nice tight grip. Take the arms all the way up. Pull onto your strap and we rise. Breathing in, lift up. Exhale, slowly roll down. Breathing in, roll up. Exhale, roll down. Good, just keep going. Breathing in. Exhale. Exhale, last one. Breathing in, roll up, hold, squeeze your block or your book, pull on your strap. And roll down. Good. All right, so now we've woken up the legs. We can just remove our strap. You can place it down onto the mat or on your couch or anywhere else, and then you can release your block. So we're going to use the block now if you want to. You don't have to. This is just to give us a little bit of height. If you don't want to use your block, you'll just stand on the ground, but we're going to do those lymph swings now, exactly the same as we did with our arms, but now with our legs. So if I move this over so I don't knock into the wall, we're going to place the block on the opposite side of the chair. You'll step your foot up onto the block, and the leg that's in between now has a good foundation on both sides. You just start swinging back and forth. So what we want here is we want to swing from the hip. We want to cleanse around the lymph nodes in the groin. We want to send lots of fresh blood flow to the knee, the ankle, the foot, the toes. And the standing leg is going to be working quite hard here, so we don't want to lock out our joint. We want to bend that knee a little bit, that standing knee. And you can just take your hand to your hip, make sure you're holding on to something to help you, and just allow you to really enjoy this lovely swing in the body. Same breath, long deep breaths in, long deep breaths out. Let's take one more breath. And release. Before we release, you can just roll the foot a little bit here. It's quite nice to just point and flex. Maybe just bend the knee, lift it up, and then come down. Good. Shake out the opposite leg. You might feel it's worked quite hard. So we'll swing that one now. So when you come to the opposite side, you can just move your chair, turn it around to the other side, and do exactly the same. So you'll place your block on the opposite side. You'll step up, slight bend in that standing knee, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. You might find, again, one side might feel a little bit different. So just take note of that. You know, we often compensate on one side for a lot of things. We might carry things on one side. We might get in and out of the car, you know, on one side and things like that. So it all comes out in the body, and it's just interesting to keep observing and making mental notes throughout the practice. Lovely, deep, long breaths. Good, 2 more breaths. And slow it down. Same thing, we'll just do some pointing and some flexing and rolling of the ankle. Maybe a lift of the knee, and then come all the way down. Good, and then you can just move your block out of the way. All right, so we're going to turn our chair now to face us. So you'll have the back of the chair at the front of the mat, and now we'll come into our practice. So we'll just do a few standing poses, and then we'll come into our final relaxation. All right, so we'll start with our pyramid pose or our Parsvottanasana. You can take your hands to your hips. Let me turn this way. We'll step left foot forward. So left foot kind of in the middle of the chair, so kind of alignment in the middle. The right foot will step back. You'll place your right heel in line with that left heel. The right toes will be facing that front right corner of the chair. Right hip rolls forward. So take your hands to your hips, and your hip bones are both facing forward. It's like a scissor action with your hips. Right forward, left hip back slightly. Then we'll take the arms up towards the ceiling. Imagine there's a block in between your hands. You'll press into the block to activate through the arms. Relax your shoulders. Belly button tucks back towards the spine. And then we'll bring the hands to the tops of the chair. Maybe you just hold the top of the chair. Maybe you want to try and do it without holding. And then you can bring the hands down to the chair. So spread the fingers nice and wide. Keep everything equal distance apart. Make sure that right hip is rolling forward, left hip is rolling back. Now firm around your knees, firm around your thighs. Make sure the legs are both switched on and they're equal between front and back. And then start to fold. So you can start to almost press that forehead down towards the chair. Maybe you want to take your hands down to the legs of the chair. It's quite nice to go a little bit deeper. And then you should feel a beautiful stretch up that left leg, moving down the right leg. Let's take 2 breaths. Good, and then we start to rise, so you can walk your hands back to the base of the chair. You're going to take your left hand, place it in the middle of the chair now. Take the right hand to your right hip. Now I want you to guide that right foot and hip to turn and open towards a 90-degree angle. Whoopsie. But keep your heels in line. So keep that alignment with the feet. We're just opening up that right hip now. It's almost like a triangle. So we've got straight legs. You can push that left foot forward a little bit. I want you to firm around the thighs. Don't lock out the joints. You've got lots of length here in your spine. And then if it feels good, you could take that right arm up towards the ceiling. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you could take your left forearm down to the chair, but see how you feel here and see how there's lots of length. I'm not dumping onto the chair. That right arm is straight and strong. And then maybe turn your gaze to look towards the right hand, or you could just look straight ahead. If it's too much for the top arm, you could just keep that hand on the back hip, but keep your legs straight. And let's take 2 breaths. Good. And then place that right hand back to your right hip. You'll come back onto your hand if you're on your forearm, so lifting up, creating a little bit more space. And then starting to bend that left knee. I want you to touch that left knee to the front of the chair. Take the right leg a little further away. We're still keeping that alignment, that 90-degree angle, and you've still got that heel to heel alignment. And then if it feels good, we'll sweep the right arm up and over, full stretch, so extended side angle. If you want to come down onto your forearm again, you could come down onto your forearm. Otherwise, you could keep the hand on the hip if that feels better. Full stretch. And then maybe curling your head to look up towards the ceiling under that right arm. Good. Wherever you are with that front hand, I want us to swing that right hand back. Keep the knee on the chair. Right hand comes back to the right thigh. Turn the left palm. And then as we're still bending that left knee, I want you to sweep that left arm up, back, and over, maybe looking up towards the ceiling. So a lovely stretch on that left side body, and then swivel both hands down to the chair, lift up that back heel, roll the right hip forward, and then we'll step our left foot back, open the feet lovely and wide, and I want you to push both hands to the base of the chair, push the heart through the shoulders, and then stretch into the back of the legs, keep them straight, almost like a downward dog, but on your chair. Full deep breath in, full deep sigh out. And then just place the fingers on the floor, bend your knees, release your lower back, become floppy in the head, and slowly spinal roll all the way up. Good, and then just roll the shoulders back and down. You can shake out the hands, shake out the legs, and we'll do the other side. Okay, so realigning, getting ready for the other side, hands to hips, we're nearly there. You'll step a little further back. This time we'll take our right foot so that it's in line with the middle of the chair. We'll step our left foot back about a meter distance, maybe shorter, making sure that back heel is flat and it's in line with the front heel. The left toes are facing that front left corner of the chair. Take hands to hips and then roll that left hip forward. So you've got your hip bones facing the front of the chair. Tuck belly button in and back. Take both arms up towards the ceiling. Pick up your imaginary block. And then come down to the top of the chair, maybe holding onto it or maybe using the core. Firming around the knees, not locking out your joints, and then taking hands down to the base of the chair. So this is stage one. If that feels good, you could stay here and you could start bending the elbows and folding forward. Keep rolling that left hip forward and maybe take your hands down to the base of the chair and push the forehead towards the chair. Let's take 2 full breaths. And then slowly starting to rise, bring the hands back to the base of the chair. Keep the legs straight. Right hand comes to the middle of the chair, in line with that right leg. Keep firming around the knees. Now take left hand to left hip. As we do this, we turn the left foot 90 degrees. We open up that left hip so that it rolls. Our chest opens up towards the left side. And then maybe, if it feels good for you, you could take that left arm up towards the ceiling. And this is where you're staying. That's absolutely fine. If you want to go a little bit further, you could take that right forearm onto the chair and then take that left arm up. Maybe look up towards the left fingers. Or maybe just look straight ahead to keep the spine straight, but no dumping of the head. Try and keep it in line with your shoulders or in line with your neck. Firm around both thighs. One more breath. Good. Left hand can come down towards the left hip. You can look forward, keep the hips open. Start to bend the front knee, touch it to the chair, and then slide that left leg back. Maybe you're on your hand here. That's absolutely fine. Maybe you're on your forearm. Left arm can come up and over, so it's kind of in line with that left leg. Make sure it doesn't dump onto the head. Keep it straight and strong, little bit of a gap there. And then look under the armpit, up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Taking our reverse, keep the front knee bent as we sweep that left hand all the way back. Turn the right palm and then sweep it up and back. Look up towards the ceiling. Keep pushing that right knee into the chair, but staying strong in the legs, and then swivel both hands down. So make sure that you've got equal distance apart with your hands. Spread the fingers to the base of the chair and then step right leg back You can inline the feet, so make sure that they're equal distance apart. Open them quite wide. And then downward facing dog. Push your heart through your shoulders. Tuck the belly button in a little. Press the palms into or onto the chair. Take a deep breath in. And take a lovely deep breath out. Good, and then release. You can just walk yourself forward. Lovely, shake it all out. All right, so we're gonna put the chair away now. You can move the chair out to the side. Make sure that your props are off your mat. We're gonna do 20 lymph swings, and then we'll come down and relax. So the full lymph swing will start from feet, move through the body. We've done the arms, we've done the legs, we've worked on our feet. So a lovely way to bring everything together. So with our feet, we're gonna stay floppy through the body. You're going to rise up onto the balls of the feet as the arms come up. And then as you come down, you're going to bend the knees, sweep the arms back and lift onto the heels. So it looks a little bit like this. Let's start. Don't worry if you fall out. I'll count. And last one, shake it out. Good work. All right, nice relaxing pose, somewhere you can set yourself up comfortably in your own space. Try and keep that heart rate flowing a little bit as we come down, and as we rest, we'll come back to that breath. So you'll see I have a bolster. You can use, like I said, a cushion or a rolled up blanket or a rolled up duvet or something as well. You're going to place it long ways under your back. So this is a really lovely way to open up the chest, open up into the heart, really increase the breath throughout the whole body. You're going to place the bottom of whatever you're using, kind of where your bottom is. You can either have your knees bent or you can have your knees straight out, your legs straight out. So see what works for you. What you could also do is if you're in bed, you could put a pillow underneath your knees just to raise them slightly. And then you're just going to lower yourself back. It will feel a little bit strange in the beginning. Place the head down, make sure the head is completely supported and it's not falling off. And then just let the arms fall to the sides. Relax your feet. If the knees are bent, you could knock your knees in or you can just keep them out. It's quite nice with straight legs. And I want you just to find your breath here. Lovely deep breaths in. Long deep exhales out. And I'd like you just to stay in your relaxation for as long as your time will allow. This is where I'll leave you so that you can stay in your own space and just enjoy a little bit of time to yourself. Just allow the body just to process all of that throughout the session. So thank you so much for practicing with me today. I'll close consciously for us here and now. The light in me honors the light in you, and together we are one. Thank you for practicing with me today.